So, K. Michelle went on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay, and she was talking about her career, her love life, and just general life stuff. At some point, Shannon asked her whether she'd ever do a Verzuz battle. She said yes, she's open to it. Then he asked who she'd want to face. She didn't drop any names, but said, probably the Muppet. Shannon looked confused.
Yeah.
Would you do Verzuz?
Oh, I think I should do a Verzuz.
Who you gonna go up against?
Probably the Muppet.
The audience probably looked confused too if they weren't already plugged into this particular situation. But anyone who follows these two women and their history knew exactly what that meant. That one word, Muppet, carries over a decade of history between K. Michelle and Tamar Braxton. The beef between these two is real and dates back over a decade. They have traded straightforward and subliminal verbal shots at one another online and in interviews, and K. tripled down on her dislike of the Braxton sister in this latest sit-down with Shannon Sharpe. After calling her the Muppet, she kept going. She said, she's supposed to be so much better than me as an elitist and black person. She's so refined, but she's the one with teeth knocked out, sleeping with married men, not me, but I'm low level, low class. Then she mocked Braxton's alleged net worth, attributing Tamar's financial success to her famous sisters. She also added, I've been quiet on your attack, so get up there and do your Verzuz, little lady. The singer also addressed the follower gap between them, framing herself as the supposedly low-class one, despite having a significantly larger platform, approximately 10 million followers to Tamar's 2 million. To understand why this is still going, you have to go back to where it actually started. K. Michelle and Tamar Braxton's beef began in 2012 following the premiere of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. During an episode, Michelle made accusations against an ex-boyfriend, alleging that he physically abused her when they were dating and also had a hand in blackballing her from the industry after their split. She didn't say the man's name on the show, but people figured out pretty quickly she was talking about Mickey Memphis Wright, who was an AANDR at Jive Records. Memphis denied Michelle's claims, but court records later proved she spoke the truth. So you have a woman going on television talking about being abused by a man in the music industry. That's already a heavy thing to do, and rather than people simply believing her, or at least staying quiet, Tamar Braxton decided to weigh in. Tamar was close friends with Toya Wright, who was Memphis's wife at the time. Rather than keep her thoughts to herself, Tamar went on Twitter to post a message to Toya. While an episode of Love and Hip Hop aired, she posted, "Oh, have fun and let this girl sell her fairy tale." It wasn't subtle. People knew what she was talking about. This was Tamar, in real time while the show was airing, essentially telling the public that K. Michelle was lying about being abused. That's where it started, and you can see why K. Michelle has never fully gotten over it. Being told you made up your own abuse is not something that just goes away. P. Michelle later said in a radio interview, "The one person I am mad at is Tamar Braxton, that Muppet. She needs to have several seats, because she deleted the tweets. She was saying to Toya, oh, have fun. Let this girl stay in her fairy tales. All I tweeted was,
But I will not. She supposed to be so much better than me.
I like Tony anyway. I don't play in those little games. The Muppet needs to get it together." That's where the Muppet nickname came from. It stuck. And it has been almost 13 years since that moment. K. Michelle is still using it in interviews in 2026, which tells you how deep that initial wound actually went. Subtweets between Braxton and K. Michelle were sent back and forth until Braxton sent K. Michelle a cease and desist, claiming that she felt threatened. So now it had gone from Twitter beef to legal letters. Two women in the music industry who had never even met in person were at the point of cease and desist orders over a situation that started with one deleted tweet. Then things kept piling on. K. Michelle accused Braxton of copying her personal style, alleging that Braxton used the same wig maker as she did.
Saying I look like a Muppet. And people say it so much, sometimes I start to believe her.
Tamar fired back on the Arsenio Hall show. When Arsenio asked about her rival, Tamar said, "Who? Kmart, where they sell Nikki's clothes at. That's the only K I know." Classic Tamar dismissive, designed to make it seem like K. Michelle wasn't even worth naming directly. Around the same time, K. Michelle released her Rebellious Soul album in 2013. Tamar made comments about what Love and Hip Hop cast members were paid compared to Braxton family values, implying the Love and Hip Hop people weren't making real money. K. Michelle found out about the comments and clapped back during an Instagram live. Pattern was already forming. Something would happen. An interview, a tweet, a comment, and the whole thing would reignite. Both of their fan bases were watching closely, and neither woman seemed interested in letting things die. Then oddly, there was a brief moment where it looked like maybe they could actually move on. Tamar Braxton revealed exclusively to Entertainment Tonight that she and K. Michelle had ended their feud and would be performing together at the 2015 BET Awards. She said, "In the past, we've both had a lot of disagreements just about, I guess, life in general. This is actually the first time we will be meeting each other." Think about that. They had been going back and forth publicly for 3 years. Cease and desist letters, interviews, nicknames, Twitter wars. And they had never actually been in the same room together until a BET stage. They performed together at the 2015 BET Awards, joining Patti LaBelle. It seemed genuine in the moment, but Tamar was clear afterward that it did not mean friendship. Braxton later told Angie Martinez, "Let me just be honest about it."
Hey, Michelle have made nice?
Yeah.
Are you nice, or are you just kind of like for the moment?
Let me just be honest about it, right?
That weekend is the first time I met her. We not homies. We're just cordial. BET did put us together and it wasn't awkward. But yes, it was awkward at first, but she sang, I sang, then we went home. There's just no beef. There's just no beef is a very interesting thing to say about someone you've been sending cease and desist letters to. But for a while, things were actually quieter between them. Then the Verzuz era started. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland created the format where two artists play their catalogs against each other, and fans immediately started calling for K. Michelle versus Tamar Braxton. It made sense. Two R&B women from the same era, both with recognizable catalogs, both with strong fan bases who were already invested in this rivalry. Tamar appeared on T.S. Madison's YouTube show, The Queen's Supreme Court, and everything was going fine until Madison asked Tamar if she would do a Verzuz with K. Michelle. Tamar didn't answer. She rang an energy-cleansing bell instead. Madison laughed and moved on, but that clip went viral immediately. K. Michelle took that silence as shade and went completely off on Instagram. She accused Tamar of sleeping with Jermaine Dupri's father, Michael Malden, while he was married. That accusation spread quickly. Tamar's boyfriend, David Adefeso, came to her defense in a video, saying, "I woke up this morning, and there was one black woman tearing another black woman down. What I saw this morning made me sad." He also refuted K. Michelle's allegations, calling them false and concocted to defame Tamar's character.
"What I saw this morning made me sad, because I saw one strong black woman."
Tamar herself said she wasn't going to waste her energy engaging with it directly. Around January 2021, as Ashanti and Keisha Cole were doing their Verzuz battle, a fan tweeted calling for K. Michelle versus Tamar Braxton. Braxton came across the tweet and responded directly, "Absolutely not. I only have 7 top 10 records and 4 Grammy nominations. Let me win a few of them first and then double my hits." Others thought it was a smart way to sidestep the whole thing without directly refusing, because of the beef. Then 2024 brought another round. After Tamar made comments about black country music, K. Michelle interpreted it as a shot at her. Tamar denied it, writing, "I wasn't speaking about you. I would have said your name. I was speaking of country black music that I have heard before that I didn't enjoy. I wish you the best on all your future endeavors. I only want to beef with the devil." The end. K. Michelle didn't buy it. She told Distractify, "Just leave me alone, it's always a shot, and there shouldn't be anything at this point." Then came the Cam Newton podcast in June 2025. K. Michelle reignited the feud during an appearance on Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, offering raw, unfiltered remarks that made it clear the drama had not cooled. Without naming Tamar, she said, "I hate the bitch, the muppet. I got into this game and I came in on a show called Love and Hip Hop. I talked about my abuse and I didn't say anybody's name. There was this muppet in the corner yapping, and even till this day, When Beyoncé sent me flowers and everything, she subliminally but not subliminal talked about me. When I go through bookings, it's always her name. Don't book her for shows. So you're attempting to stop money for how I take care of my child. All because of what? All because you ain't got no edges? All because your sister is really the star? This is what this is about. All because the man that you love tried to talk to me before you, in the middle of you, and after you. That last part is the most loaded thing she said. She's claiming there's a man connected to all of this. Someone who pursued K. Michelle before and during his relationship with Tamar. She didn't name anyone, but she clearly believes there's a layer to why Tamar has never liked her that goes beyond the Memphis and Toya Wright situation from 2012. The Muppet nickname itself has a specific origin. During a 2015 episode of The Real, Tamar shared that someone had called her a Muppet and admitted the comment hurt her feelings, bringing back memories of being bullied in high school. K. Michelle has kept the nickname in circulation ever since. Then, just days ago, K. Michelle sat with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay, and everything came back out again. She referenced Tamar's highly publicized 2025 incident in which Tamar was reportedly found in a pool of blood, suffering from multiple dental fractures, a nasal fracture, and a tooth completely knocked out of the socket, according to dentist Dr. Amira Ogunlai. Rumors had circulated online linking Tamar to Love and hip-hop star Mendeecees Harris. Around the time of the incident, allegations both parties denied. K. Michelle brought all of that up on the Sharpe interview, using it to make her point that the woman who has always acted superior to her is the one whose life looks messier. Tamar has not responded to the Club Shay Shay comments, as of now. What makes this situation genuinely strange is that these two women have real things in common. Both came up in R&B during the same period. Both dealt with an industry that does not always treat Black women fairly. Both had very public personal struggles that played out in front of their audiences. Both built fan bases that are deeply loyal and ready to argue on their behalf at any moment. And none of that has ever translated into any real peace between them. As of 2025, K. Michelle shifted her focus from R&B to country music, signing a deal with BBR Music Group and BMG Nashville. The musical lanes have literally separated at this point. And still, 13 years after a deleted tweet about a woman's abuse allegations, whether Tamar ever gets on that Verzuz stage with her is a separate question. She has declined multiple times, in different ways. And given that K. Michelle just referenced her 2025 health incident on a major podcast, the answer is probably still no. That's what makes this particular feud unlike most in R&B. It does not need resolution to keep moving. One interview, one podcast question, one silent bell-ringing moment on a live show, and the whole thing starts over. What started as industry side eyes has evolved into one of R&B's most persistent grudge matches. And based on what just happened on Club Shay Shay, that does not look like it's changing anytime soon.